Aloha, everyone. Thursday was an excellent overall session for the market. The market did pull back, but as you can see on the NASDAQ, it pulled back on lighter volume, below average. And on the New York Stock Exchange, the exact same thing, a pullback on lighter, below average volume. The best thing is you can see on the NYSE on today's session, big intraday reversal off the lows. That can also be seen in the S&P 500, only down 0.13%. Can be seen in the NASDAQ, only down 0.17%. Can be seen in the NASDAQ 100, only down 0.23%. Dow Jones Industrial Average, only down 0.20%, another big intraday reversal. And then the Russell 2000, only down 0.10%, leading the way. Overall, big intraday reversal and actually closed higher than where it opened. You can see that on the Russell 2000, the stochastics and MACD and TSV are trending higher intermediate term, which is very good short term too, and so is RSI and stochastic. So everything's in alignment there. If we look at the NASDAQ, it's similar situation. Stochastic's good, RSI strong, MACD trending higher. TSV, it's kind of hard to see, but it is trending higher overall. And same with the S&P 500. Well, TSV is kind of, it's kind of going nowhere. MACD, though, trending slightly higher. RSI, stochastics, all good. The only problematic index continues to be the Dow Jones Industrial or Dow Jones Transportation Average. Its oscillators are still trending lower. Stochastics, RSI, TSV, and MACD. So it doesn't look great there. But that being said, every once in a while I see some nice transportation stocks like ATSG, I noticed. And my mind just went blank. Nope, FRO. I noticed FRO today also. So it's not like the index is completely dead. There are some standouts. It seems to be more of an airline industry related kind of sell off thing overall. But look at how strong ALK looks. So that's kind of one of my favorites out of the group. So overall, the indexes look fine. Excellent pullback. Like I said, today would have been awesome if we would have seen immediate fall through. But I told you during the new positions commentary last night that I penned that I would be happy with a down day that was barely down as long as we didn't break the lower days of the session of yesterday's session or even the day before. So as long as we don't break below 50.16, I'll be happy as we trend sideways or higher. As moving on to the sell signals, we only had one SERV 50% sell signal with it closing below the 34.20. Once it broke the 50-day moving average heavy volume, I moved my sell stop from 34.17, splitting hairs, to 34.20. Today, it gapped down on huge volume with max red bop. So my final position will be totally sold off if it moves below this April low. So that is my final line in the sand with SERV is the April lows. But that was the only sell signal tonight. 50% SERV hit my intraday sell stop already, so there's nothing for me to do on that end. And yesterday, late in the day, OHGI started to break out. There was a little bit of news, some chat rooms. Momentum traders picked up on it, and late in the day, it went from about 180, 180.90-ish whenever we started track it, up to at one point 220 after hours. And then this morning it ripped higher. So from when we first started noticing around 2, this thing got all the way up to 584 and continues to show you the kind of money that can be made on these intraday patterns. I mean, we were watching coming in today. If you look at our pre-market watch list, you'll find OHGI at the very top of the long positions we were watching to make a huge move potentially today, and it did. VBLT looks like it still could have another big movement on it, so obviously keep watching this one. And then recent stocks that have been profiled on StockTwits was ORBK before its recent breakout here, and then BSTC continues to move higher. So make sure you check out those pre-market watch lists that we post every morning on the new positions area, and make sure you check out StockTwits during the weekend and week, because sometimes I post charts that I don't play there. BSQR was another recent earnings winner that we played for short-term momentum, and it used to be part of the pre-market watch list, but I don't see my guy posting it there anymore, but it's still being watched, up 28% now. So there's still a lot of big moves to be made over the short term in this market. And on that note, we have more long signals tonight. Only one new one, though. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. KOP, as you can see, earnings estimates for 2015 and 2016 are expected to rise 68 and 45% respectively. Estimates have been risen for both years. It currently yields a dividend yield of 3.8%. Sales growth is starting to pick up, which is why earnings growth is going to start to pick up also. We have a new CEO and recent insider transactions. So whenever you combine all of that with this chart right here, it's possible that, we could see a nice little move for it. So even though this isn't the stock kind of chart that I like to normally buy with price below 200-day moving average and not being high quality, it is a $26 a share stock. It's had Max Green Bop for 5 days. It's had Green Bop for at least 20 days. So it made both Bop scans, very rare for a lot of these stocks in today's market with the choppiness and the QE and the liquidity. It's very rare for stocks to make both the Green Bop for 20 days and the Max Green Bop for 5 day scan. But KOP did. So that's like, so let's say it's 0.5, let's say it's 1% for being a long signal at all, let's say in the BOP 100 scan, then it's a 0.5% signal for it to be in the BOP green for 20-day scan. And this stock was also confirmed in the price volume BOP surge scan, and it's also producing a pocket pivot point signal. So it's going to be like 1% for BOP max green for 5 days, another 0.5% for being green for 20 days, another 0.5% for being in the price volume BOP scan. So 2% long position in KOP. Final cut loss is today's low day, 24.94. I don't think it went any lower than that. Nope, at any other point. So 24.94 is your final line in the sand if KOP does not move up immediately. And then also IX used to be a CanSlim quality stock. It is no longer CanSlim quality, but it is supposed to be in the future also, even though earnings estimates for 2015 and 2016 don't exist on MarketSmith. IX is also confirmed in our Max Green Bop for 5 days scan. And even though it doesn't make the price volume BOP surge scan because it doesn't average 50,000 shares a day, pretty soon it will have 50,000 shares a day. So let's pretend like it did. If it did, we have the price volume BOP surge with the pocket pivot point signal. So it's basically being confirmed there. However, with it just being an ad, and we've already had one ad signal, the new long signal was back here. The ad signal was here. Now we have another ad. So it's a 1% ad position for IX. And then we also have another ad signal in SRNE. SRNE is a very speculative long position. We took a position here, 1%. It hasn't moved higher, but it hasn't failed its final cut loss area, and it kept Max Green Bop during the entire pullback. Now it's got Max Green Bop still and a price and volume surge. So you also have a pocket pivot point signal. So all three of these stocks have Max Green Bop and a pocket pivot point buy signal. So that's pretty impressive overall. I can't remember last time I've seen that in our scans. SRNE has obviously been Max Green Bop for 5 days scan and is in the price volume BOP surge with a pocket pivot point. Since the initial position was 1%, this is only a 0.5% add, especially with the market not being under a model-wide buy condition. So SRNE 0.5, IX 1, KOP 2, 3 similar charts.